So we have to we have to cut this pattern on the first video, and this one is the sewing tutorial. Welcome to my channel, and let's continue from where we stop. So after cutting the lining, you will bring it down to the hem of the dress and you go and sew it on a straight line. So after sewing it, you're going to sew on top like this on the lining part, and after sewing it, you take it up to the neck so that you can sew the sides. This zipper allowance, you sew it, and the other part of the side you sew it, and do the same thing to other materials. This is one of the front I'm using to show. So you do the same thing to other side, and then you cut out these edges a little and you turn it out from this open neck. Now after turning it out, you go and iron all of them, and after ironing all of them, you're going to just sew this neck. If you want, you can also leave it open, but just sew it. All right, so see, I've sewn this one. So this is that we are doing. Now you're going to divide what we have here by 2. You divide it by 2. Okay, now from that place you go in. Okay, you come down by your chest line plus 1 inch. Do you understand? Your chest line plus 1 inch. This is the back we're making first. So now you go in by your nipple to nipple measurement plus half inch. So what I did here is 4.5 against 4, which is the nipple to nipple measurement, and I'm going to come down by 2 inches above my hip line. So whatever your hip line is, you remove 2 inches from it, and then you mark. That is where your that will stop. Now by the two sides, you go in by half an inch, and let that half an inch be at the waist part. And then you go to your sewing machine and you sew it. I'm just trying to curve this thing, but it does not really matter. Just go fold it into 2, and then take it to your sewing machine. See, fold it into 2 like this. Take it to your sewing machine. Start from little and enter big, and then go out little. That is just it, and you do it to the other part. And then for the front, remember we have zipper allowance, so you remove 1 inch for zipper allowance, and then you come in by the same 4.5 inches, which is your nipple to nipple measurement, and then you come down by your, what is it called, 2 inches before your underbust. Then you still measure 2 inches above your hip line for the length of the dart. So you say yes, 1 inch, that 1 inch you came out there from your zipper allowance. I know we added 1.5, right? But we have turned the lining with half an inch, so we just have 1 inch for our zipper allowance. And then you still go and sew it on your machine the same way you sew the back. You just have to fold it, and when you fold it into 2, you start from little, and then you go in bigger at the waist part, and then you go out by little again. And after sewing that, the next thing you will do is to join the neckline. Now watch how I'm going to turn this thing inside like this, and then I'm going to sew it. Just sew it straight. Do you understand? Just take your time and arrange it very well. Sew it and do the same thing to the other part. And after doing it, all right, so we have to get the pocket opening. So I'll come down by 18 inches, and from that 18 inches I'll come down again by 7 inches, which is my pocket opening. All right, so now you're going to sew your pocket. Bring in your pocket like this, and you're going to sew it from that 7 inches to anywhere I stop, from that 7 inches to anywhere I stop, so to other parts too. And after doing that, now you go in by your 1 inch zipper allowance, and then you iron it. You iron it inside. Just watch, I've ironed it like this so that you know where to put your zip. Now you go ahead and fix your zip. Fix your zip. Now after fixing your zip, all right, so just fix your zip and make sure the up is up, like the head is up. And then, okay, my own didn't get to the down, so this one will be the slit. And then you fold it into 2 like this so that you can shape your dress. Now you're going to mark 1 inch from beginning to the end, but when you get to the pocket part, you'll reduce it to half an inch. So you know, when I was cutting this dress, I was adding 2.5 inches, right? Okay, so I have removed 1 inch for the dart part, right? So I have 1.5. So the half will be for ease, while this 1 inch is for extra, which is the allowance. Now you cut this pocket opening, cut it up and down before turning it out. And for the sleeve, you just fold in a little and fold in a bigger one. Fold in quarter an inch and then fold in half an inch and sew it straight down. Now cut the elastic you want. Here I use length 7 and I'll cut 2. Now you can just measure where you want the sleeve to stop and you minus 2 inches from it and cut it as your elastic. Now you put it inside, and as you're putting it inside, take note of this part so that it doesn't go inside. And when you have gotten to here, go back to your sewing machine and sew it. And after sewing it, you continue to you push it to the other part and then you sew it as well. Now you fold this sleeve together like this and you're going to join it with your half an inch. Just join it up and then notch this center front, and this place will remove half an inch that time. Remember, it will be for the front part. And then you go and fix your zip your sleeve. Now to fix this sleeve, put it inside so that the notch will be at the shoulder. Let that notch be at that shoulder. That's what I'm trying to say. And this side that we join should meet this other part that we join. This is the easiest way to fit sleeve. You just put it inside like this and then take this notch part, put on your shoulder, that place you join the shoulder, and pin it. You can pin it round and then let the other joining part meet the joining part. And that is that for that one. And then you, after doing that, the next thing is to measure your neck width round. I got 19 inches, but I will do 20 on this paper. So you just fold your paper into two and then you get a straight line. Now this straight line, you're going to divide what you have by 2. So what I'm working with is 20 inches, and then because this is folded, I'm just using 10 inches. So I've gone in by 5 inches, and I'm going to go up here by 1 inch. Now 1 inch till I get to that 5 inches, and I'll mark it on a straight line. And after marking it, just watch how I'm going to use my tape. I'm not going to make it straight. I'm going to be measuring. I want to get that 10 inches, but I will not get it on a straight line. Just curve your hand with your tape, and when you get to your 10 inches, you mark it down. Remember, this paper is on fold, and the fold part is the part facing me. And now you're going to mark, use your chalk, your pencil, whatever thing you're using to mark it that curve. And then you come up again and you mark 1 inch. That is the length of the collar. 1 inch like this, and then you connect it with this other 1 inch. And when you get to this end of the neck, you're going to curve your hand. You can also do straight if that is what you want, but it's better you curve your hand like this. You curve it, let the curving be on the neck, while this other part is on the side that you join on the dress. Hope you understand. And then you're going to cut it on your material, adding half an inch up and down. Remember, you turn the neck and then you still have to join the dress on the material. Now I folded this part half an inch. That side I folded is not the neck. I folded that part that we use and join the lining on the part that I put paper stay. And now I'm going to turn it. Now to turn it, you bring out this edge small, and then you're going to pull your hand like that and sew it to the end of this collar. So you notch it and cut out any excess before you turn it over. Then after turning it over, you go and iron it very well. It is very simple. That paper stay I added is the same length with that paper I use and cut it at the beginning. You can just use your paper stay and cut it so that you don't have to go through that. And then you join it to your neckline. After joining it from the back, and you turn it out to the front and you match it on top again. And that is the end of this tutorial. I have to cut it into two because if it's on one line, it's going to be too long empty. I'll see you in my next one. God bless you. Please subscribe to my channel. Bye.